Good morning, everybody. I hope you are doing well. Today we are in the F-15C. I feel like I definitely should have played this out at some point before this, but either way, here we are. I might just have dementia, but that's fine. Today we are balling out on this plane. I haven't really played the game at all today. I've been sort of, just decompressing after an exam I had earlier, which went decently well, so I'm happy about that. But either way, I like to sit fairly high in this thing. I usually sit just below contrail altitude. As you can see there, a lot of people go above. It does give your missiles more energy, but it has the huge downside of, well, everyone can see you, and that makes you a very easy target. So, me personally, I would rather just chill below the contrail level a little bit, and, just sort of vibe. There's a missile on its way. I'm just going to fly off to the left so we don't get launched on by too many other people at once. That should be sufficiently close enough. I'm going to start notching now and properly going defensive. I'm just going to move around a little bit. If you wiggle, it usually helps with the changes that they made to them. Pretty sure that is notched. Yes, that is. I'm not sure why it was still beeping at us. There we go. I've been improving a bit more at top tier. I have started to wait until the missiles get a lot closer before I notch them. That is one of the things which I was doing wrong. If you try and notch them from much longer away, they will just sort of like see it and then ignore it, and then they will just, hit you anyways. So I usually like to wait until a lot closer now to actually notch them. There is an F-15 down here. I'm just going to sling that at him. I don't think he's going to be in the notch for that, and the AMRAAM might just slam him directly from over the top and ignore multipathing. It does not. This SM is going to be eating that. There's no way he doesn't. Eurofighter fires from closer range. We're probably just dead here. Yep, that's fine. I lost awareness for a second there and wasn't really expecting someone to be like that close up to us. I was kind of expecting the F-15 that pulled out to be the furthest one around that corner, which is why I wasn't really checking TWS at all. I just wanted to try and get some locks and some easy kills on the guys below us, but either way, Eurofighter did go super far left, so he was able to get the jump on us and unfortunately kill us. I'm not a huge fan of Mysterious Valley because most maps the enemy team sort of like channels into a certain area, so when you try and sit up and like maintain the altitude advantage, it's not too hard. But on this map, it's kind of annoying because the mountains give you, like, they push the enemies up more so they actually see you more. And as well as that, most enemies don't stick to, like, a certain path. They all just sort of, like, go wherever, and it makes it a little bit more annoying to actually predict where they are going to be and what is going to happen. But either way, we'll see if we can make something work this game, perhaps. I am starting to get more consistent at top tier. Like, I usually am, getting around, like, 1.8 kills every battle now, which is quite nice. But the main issue is that I can't really get any good games. In like most other BRs and most other aircraft, I can pull out a high kill game like a 7, 8, even 9 sometimes every now and again. But at top tier, I just can't do that, and I don't know why. It might be just because of the nature of it, of how fast-paced and quick it is. Like a lot of the time, your team just ends up steamrolling them before, anything really gets going. The teams do evaporate quite quickly up here, so that would not surprise me in the slightest. No one's really above me, so it's not really going to be worth trying to push for a lock like that. I'm instead just going to sort of sit in my, little 90-degree pan, and nobody should be launching at us, hopefully. So there is a fella down here. I'm going to pull in a little bit. That should be fine, I reckon. It's a little bit long range for trying to shoot at a floor sniffer, but I don't think he's fully using multipath. I'm actually just going to hard lock him here. That might be a little bit more consistent for the track while scan. In theory. Yep, and there we go. If you shoot missiles top-down, it can just straight up ignore multipath, which is what I usually like to do when I have gained an altitude advantage in these sorts of aircraft. That is a fella. We're getting shot at by a J-10. No, that's someone else. Alright then. He just straight up dies. And the 27 SM does in fact get a kill assist. This is... Oh, hello. We're getting a missile, but I don't think that's actually at us properly. Any minute now, I'm going to actually turn into this J11. There we go. I'm just going to sling one off early. I'm going to relock him to make sure it actually does pull in and go for him correctly. Yeah, this map is a little bit weird because, like, this game, most of them were over the left side there. And, I usually like to be sort of over the large clump of them, but when you can't really predict where that clump is going to be, the games do tend to get a little bit annoying. It definitely heavily reduces your potential to get kills, like, I've only gotten one. I mean, I did also get a hit on the other guy, which just sort of, didn't get kill credit for us, but still. It is substantially lower potential than if we were on a map where I could accurately predict where the enemy team was going to be. There is that Su-27 down there. I probably am safe to hard lock him. There's only one other guy who isn't spotted. I'm going to lock him from around 7 kilometers away. I'm going to fire that there, might as well. We still have plenty left to take these longer range shots for. Looks like that is actually going to track properly too, so that is good. He is going to try and multipath. Will it work? Nope. There we go. Last guy's over here. I'm just going to sling this. That missile is at us. We're just going to pull in here. We're going to set 90 degrees, and we are just going to notch this. I'm going to turn down a little bit when the missile can't see us. Now we pull back in. I'm going to swap over to HMD so I can get my launch quicker here. There we go. We do that, and then we are just going to get back into the notch. Let's try not to over-G here. We barely managed to dodge that. He's pushing in very close now. This is concerning. I think at this point we are just going to take the suicide head on. Okay, that was a bit of a bad idea. My AMRAAMs did not quite have enough maneuverability to get in there. The F-15 just sort of loses that fight. You kind of want to kill him there from longer range. The F-15 on my team. Wasn't there another teammate around us? I don't know. That's a little bit weird. That was 2.5. Not bad. I maybe could have won against that J-10 had I gone a little bit more defensive there, but I reckon he probably would have got us anyways there. I also don't have this crew expert as well, so that, you know, really hindered us in that fight there, having to constantly try and avoid the blackout where he was just able to pull straight into us essentially and get the kill. So there is a bunch of Rafales and Eurofighters over this way, and it's probably a little bit unwise to try and head on their entire team at once. It looks like this F-15 is doing that anyways, and we have a couple of other fellas below us who are trying to do exactly that. And, you know, I love to do these stupid high-kill gambits if they work. So I'm just going to do it anyways. I'm going to sling a ton of missiles, and we're going to see if any of them manage to properly track or connect. One does, apparently. We have this guy over here. My radar just broke, so I can't actually kill him. So that's a little unfortunate, you know? There we go. We do actually manage to get 2 out of that. I probably could have got more there if, you know, my radar didn't break at the one time that I actually needed it to, you know, lock the guy. But, oh well, that's, you know, oh, guys, add F-18, add F-2, add Su-30. My man, please fix the top tier combat first. I beg. Looks like there is a Eurofighter a little bit away, which we sort of lock onto. I mean, that might be at him. I'm not fully sure. I'm going to get my scale back down correctly. There we go. We do get a much more solid lock on him here. Doesn't really seem like he's paying a ton of attention, although that might have... Missile just vanishes. Okay. I love that that bug is still in the game. Once again, please fix the top tier combat Gaijin. I would heavily appreciate that. This Rafale is being pushed defensive by our teammate in the F-15 already. I might sling a missile here to try and capitalize, just in case. And then after... no, I'm going to keep lock, actually. I'm going to hold lock on this guy. He is turning back in, which is very good for us, because he's probably just going to get jumped by a missile that he didn't fully know was there. Maybe, unless the data link doesn't work correctly, which it looks like it does not, unfortunately. I'm just going to shadow him. Oh, fuck. Hello. He played that really well. He was hiding very well behind that hill there. I don't know why my missiles keep de-rendering. Well, I mean, I do know why. It's the bug, but, like, I don't know why at that specific lock with the Rafale, the missile de-rendered there, because it was... I was still holding the track on him with the radar. When the activator homing missile sees the enemy pulling into the notch, it switches out of search pulse Doppler and into search, and usually, because it's already looking at the ground, it just dies. But with data link, that should, in theory, guide the missile towards the aircraft, waiting for it to pop out of pulse Doppler again, so the actual ARH can lock back onto him and track more accurately in, like, the final little distance, in the final little stretch. But with the bug, apparently it's whenever your missile loses lock. And I don't think data link counts for that, because right there, as you saw, he sort of, like, he went into the notch and then pulled back out of it for, like, back to where the missile should have been able to track him if I held the lock with data link, which I did there. But I think because the missile just straight up vanished out of thin air for no apparent reason, it obviously didn't hit him. So, you know, I'm not fully sure if, like, that was what actually was causing that there, or if he did fully notch the missile and the data link just, like, didn't work. But the bug is still really annoying. It's a little bit frustrating to try and sling a missile at someone and hold the lock with BVR tactics, and then, you know, your missile just disappears. Magic. As I said, I don't even really know if that's what's happening or not. I'd need to go into, like, the replay and actually have a look at it. I mean, they have also broke the sensor view for me to, like, where you can see all of the seeker heads code and stuff, which is really fun because my game just crashes whenever I try and open it and start the replay. So, you know, that's another Another very fun, polished feature of this game. It is what it is. I'm too tired to start on my rant tonight, so instead we just get the vaguely passive-aggressive comments as per usual. So either way, I'm going to go back and try the same tactic again. I wouldn't really recommend floor sniffing in the Eagle, even with the current state of the bug, just because, well, you get absolutely rinsed in the 1v1 by pretty much everything you see in the F16, or the F15C, sorry. So I'd recommend at least trying to stay up and, you know, use some of your speed, energy. I don't even really know what advantages it has, to be honest. I just like to position myself better up high. It gives me a better chance than trying to, like, I don't know, face a Rafale or a Typhoon in a 1v1. So this Typhoon is dropping down missiles. He is playing it like the F-14. What a Chad. I'm going to chill over the left-hand side this time, I think, because it looks like there's quite a few guys who actually didn't get the memo that you were supposed to go right at top tier. I'm just going to sort of make my way over here. They don't really know that I'm here yet because I'm not at Contrail out. They definitely know about the Eurofighter who launched at them, but I don't think they know that I'm here specifically, which is good for me. Oh. That's concerning. Alright then, so there's just like 1 or 2 or 3 below us, which I have lost lock on because I didn't manage my TWS correctly. I'm going to sling down at this guy. The missile just vanished. You literally heard it next to me. Literally just disappear. My shit is vanishing out of thin air. I can't hit and kill the enemy plane if my missiles don't exist, Gaijin. Please. Please help me. Please help. Okay. So I'm going to try and maintain data link lock on this guy the entire time. The missile is cruising in, as we can see. Yep, okay. Thank God that one actually worked. I was going to lose my mind if it didn't. But anyways, in those sorts of launches, the enemy plane is going to essentially, if you can't just sit below the multipath altitude anymore and expect it to work, because if you launch like that, how I did that, where essentially you push the missile like through the plane to get to the ground, then it will just completely ignore multipath and will just go straight through you to get to the target that it's trying to lock below you. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Most people do not actually realize that that strategy has stopped working by now. I'm going to guess it's from that SM. I'm just going to outrun it because we are on the deck now, even though I said don't do that a little earlier. This is just a bit of a weird game. I'm going to go up a little bit more, actually. I'm going to start climbing again. That J11 goes down anyways. It looks like their team is going to be mostly over here now. I'm just going to pop back into TWS and start making my way on over. Also, by the way, if you do have questions on all of this stuff, I learned basically everything from, well, one, unfortunately, the comment section, and two, there's a YouTuber called Megan Fox, I think, something like that. I probably mispronounced that to hell and back, but either way, he makes very good top-tier guides, so I would highly recommend watching them if you have not already. That's not at me, fortunately, but this next one probably is. So I'm going to try and pull back into the notch here and then pull out the way of it so it loses lock on me. We have lost control, and there is someone to my close right, which I am a little concerned about. He doesn't fire at me, fortunately. I'm going to sling one off at him. Oh, he's the last guy. I'm just going to blank him in missiles then. Me win spam ram tactic. Let's go. Radar meta. Woo! Okay. He goes down. There is one left, apparently, somewhere. There's a J10A, maybe? Oh, someone just bombed a base over here. Hold on. Oh, it's an SU-34 using the airfield bombing trick. Okay, then that's wild. Of course, there's a Chinese botted player. That makes sense. I forgot that was a thing that you can do now. Oh, I'm almost out of fuel. I gotta slowly cruise in. One of my teammates is probably gonna get this kill well before I do, but that's fine. Yeah, I reckon that's gonna be my final game. As I said, I'm getting pretty consistent with getting like a couple of kills each game, but I'm still not really able to pull out the high kill games yet. It might just be because of like my playstyle and maybe just like bad luck, not really going over enough of the enemy team at once. I might be mismanaging my track while scan early game. It might just be the stupid missile bug and half of mine are just de-rendering and I don't even know it. Either way, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to keep practicing and getting a bit more consistent each time. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow, probably on the ground. Yeah, goodbye.